Have you ever thought to yourself, today I just want to throw grenades? Every single grenade. Some grenade builds are incredibly complicated, and the minute you change subclasses, you have to completely change your armor and mods. You spend more time building your Guardian than playing Destiny. I'm going to show you an insanely powerful Titan build that will allow you to change your subclass whenever you want, without having to mess with your armor or mods. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you 2 things you can do to maximize the devastating potential of this build. For our exotic, we're going with the Heart of Inmost Light. The perk is Overflowing Light. Using an ability empowers the other 2 abilities. Empowered means abilities have faster regen, melees and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. You may be thinking, oh man, another Heart of Inmost Light build? And you'd be right. Absolutely every Titan is using Arc right now with this exotic. But here's the thing, sometimes Arc is not the best subclass. And sometimes you may need to use another subclass. Now, in order to make this build so we can seamlessly transition between subclasses, we have to start with the armor. You're going to need 4 solar pieces and 1 arc piece. Which pieces are which does not really matter. For our armor stats, we're shooting for high resilience, get as close to tier 10 as possible. For our second focus, we're going with high discipline, and we'll be sacrificing some tiers of discipline, so get these as high as you can. For our damage mods, we're going with elemental wells. Our first mod is elemental ordnance. Defeating combatants with grenades spawns an elemental well, so every time I get a kill with my grenade, you'll see an elemental well spawn. Secondly, we're going to run with bountiful wells. Elemental well mods can stack, spawning additional elemental wells. Third, we're going to use seeking wells. Seeking wells allows our elemental wells to track to our position no matter where we are. Number 4, explosive well maker. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. Most of our grenades include some kind of explosive damage. We're going to have solar and other elemental wells spawning. And lastly, we're going with Well of Life. Picking up a solar elemental well grants increased regeneration for a short time. For our other mods, we're going with some build support mods. On my helmet, I'm running with Harmonic Siphon. Create orbs of power when killing combatants with damage matching your subclass type. On my arms, I'm going to leave those open for champion mods. For my chest piece, I go with damage resist mods. And I ran double thermoshock plating, but this can be swapped out depending on the activity you're attempting. On my legs, I'm using the mod Absolution. Orbs of power reduce the cooldowns on our abilities. So those orbs of power we're getting from Harmonic Siphon are going to feed back into our abilities. And lastly, on my class item, I'm running double bomber. Reduced grenade cooldown when using your class ability. Now that our armor's set up, we need to set up our subclasses. This step will allow you to swap your subclass at will and have a fully functional build no matter what subclass you run. Our abilities, aspects, and fragments are built around survivability and spamming our abilities, especially grenades. For our solar subclass, we're going with Rally Barricade. Melee is Throwing Hammer, and for our grenade, we're going with Fusion Grenades, although you could use Thermite or Solar Grenades. Our aspects are Consecration and Soul Invictus. For our fragments, we're running Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Char, Ember of Blistering, and Ember of Wonder. For our Arc subclass, we're going with our Thruster class ability. Melee is Thunderclap, and our grenade is a Storm Grenade. For our aspects, we're going Touch of Thunder and Knockout. Our fragments are Spark of Beacons, Spark of Shock, Spark of Ions, and Spark of Magnitude. For our Void subclass, we're going with the Rally Barricade for the short cooldown. For our melee, we're going to use Shield Throw, and our grenade, we're going to use either the Scatter Grenade or Vortex Grenade. Our aspects are Bastion and Offensive Bulwark, and for our fragments, we're running Echo of Remnants, Echo of Undermining, and Echo of Instability. For stasis, we're going with the Rally Barricade again. For our melee, we're using Shiver Strike, and for our grenade, we're using Glacier Grenades. Our aspects are Howl of the Storm and Tectonic Harvest. And for our fragments, we're running Whisper of Fissures, Whisper of Rending, Whisper of Rime, and Whisper of Shards. When you have these subclasses set up, your build is ready. Or is it? At the beginning, I told you I was going to give you 2 things you can do to make this build even more powerful. First off, buy and use weapons that can change their damage type. You heard right. Destiny 2 has 3 exotics that can swap between damage types. The Hard Light Auto Rifle, Dead Messenger Special Grenade Launcher, and the Borealis Sniper Rifle. When you use these versatile weapons, it makes swapping activities and subclasses 100% easier. Don't have these yet? That's okay. Prioritize using weapons that do explosive damage to create more elemental wells and/or weapons that have perks that synchronize with your subclass, like Incandescent for Solar, Volt Shot for Arc, and Headstone for Stasis, or perks that support regenerating your grenades like Demolitionist. Lastly, practice the gameplay loop for this exotic. In most cases, you want to start out with your class ability first. Use your powered melee and finish off with the 2x stack of overflowing light on your grenade. When done properly, this leads to almost 100% uptime on your abilities.
If you enjoyed our video and found this information helpful, leave us a like and comment below.
To stay up to date on all our latest videos, subscribe and hit that bell. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at NoobMastersD2. Until next time, I am Juggernaut.
I am Catpar,
And we are the Noob Masters.